Hi, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Cantey, and this is another episode of Living Enlightened Every Day. Today, we're doing a follow-up on last week where we talked about true surrender. What is true surrender? And I have some more ideas and insights on it. Stay tuned. I'm Elizabeth Cantey, and I am all about helping people to love their life and live their passion, because that's what I want. That's what I want to do. I'm all about living my passion, living in joy, living in love, living for fun. And I do have a motto: if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. We'll talk a little bit about that. And I invite you, as you listen to this episode, as all my episodes, as anything that you involve yourself in, I invite you to check in with yourself. How are you being? Who are you being? What are you being right here, right now, as you listen or watch this podcast? Are you being curious? Because when we look for something, for answers, for encouragement, for understanding or insight or transformation, we will find it. I encourage you to look from what you are looking to find. That's a good one, right? And so last week I talked about surrender, true surrender, and what that means to me, what I'm exploring, what I'm understanding now. And I will have that episode in the notes below. You can look for that. And the idea is to allow feelings, especially feelings, to come up and to witness them, to observe them, to be with them. In that sense, it's to be curious about them, because oftentimes what we want to do is say, I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel bad or sad or angry or frustrated or upset. I don't want to feel judged. I don't want to feel wrong. I don't want to feel blamed or shamed, any of these things. So when those things come up, we tend to rush to not feeling them, which means we're stuffing them, we're squashing them, we're sitting on them. And so last week I talked about becoming the witness to them and just having that sense that we're here and we're watching this event, this feeling arise in us. And it could be a feeling in the gut or the heart or the head, the throat, a tightness in the throat. It could be any of these things that my shoulders will just tense up if it's something like that. And as we notice, we can just watch as it happens. We can look, we become the observer of it. And here's the key I mentioned last week: and not try to change it, because just by witnessing it, by observing it, by becoming aware of the tightness or the feeling or the thought that is naming this feeling, we allow it to be. And as we're doing that, as it's arising, we can just allow it to be. And we can be like a child, curious. What is this? What am I responding to or reacting to? It's just another layer of surrender, is asking the question, what is this all about? Without the need to change it. So again, I'll keep referring back to that because as we decide something needs to be changed, we are judging it as wrong, bad, not good. We decide as soon as we judge something that we don't want it or we want to hold on to it. If it's a good feeling, right? We want to, we're just attaching ourselves to it. So both of those are not allowing us to be present with what is, and that is the coming and the going of feelings, of situations, events. And as we learn to just be curious, what is this about? Oftentimes, we find that a feeling is arising because of a thought we're having about something. So we're having a thought about, last week I used the example loneliness. This feeling of loneliness comes up, and if I really get curious about it, where is this coming from? What is this about? And again, I'm the witness watching. I'm just watching, I want to say playfully, but sometimes it might not be that feeling of playful, but it's we're stepping back and allowing it to be this thing, this event, this loneliness or fear, um, judgment, shame, whatever it is. And as we watch it, we can become curious. What is this? Where is it coming from? And we might hear the answer, these thoughts about a previous relationship or a current situation, something that's happening. And when we notice that this feeling, this judgment is coming up about an event or a situation or a memory or a thought, we can then begin to notice, I'm really judging these memories that are coming up. I'm really judging when we step back and look at the feelings coming up and become curious. Then we usually can get an answer. Where is this coming from? Why is this coming up now? What is this feeling referring to? And as we explore like curious children, like we're exploring a butterfly, something delicate, something wonderful, we just are able to look at it and in wonder and awe, what are you doing here? Why are you here? What do you want to show me? And often, if we are again in the observer state, if we're truly just watching, we will get the answer. Oh, this is about your recent breakup relationship. This is about traveling, your fear of traveling or a fear of the unknown. This is about the bills that are piling up or you can't pay. If there's, this feeling in your gut that is just so uncomfortable and you're running to alleviate this uncomfortableness. But when we stop and just explore, and it's the bills and it's this situation or that situation with a partner or a child, a parent, a family member, an employer, an employee, and it makes us uncomfortable. And we've decided to explore it. Now we realize that we have created these ideas or these habits that we don't like certain kinds of feelings, and we've often run to alleviate the feeling before we've explored it. Well, now when we start to explore it, yes, it may be very uncomfortable. Trust me, I know it's not fun. But what's fun is witnessing this rising up of the feeling, the rising up of the answer. Why are you here? What would you like to show me? The rising up of the being uncomfortable, allowing it all to be. And just like a thunderstorm in Florida, it's here, it makes its mark, it shows its face, it's glorious and it's thunder and lightning and rain and water and sound and energy, and then it's gone. It dissipates back into the nothingness from which it came. So that is the beauty of surrender. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the idea of being curious, where these feelings that make us so uncomfortable, where are they coming from? And oftentimes we can have a thought or a memory that comes up, and it is our reaction to an event. But oftentimes we feel that we want things to be a certain way so that we can feel good. We want things to be the way we like things. We want things at work to be a certain way so that we can feel good about ourselves, about the job, about the situation, about our desk, our area, whatever it is. We want things to be a certain way. We often have things in our relationships, in our parenting, in our household. We want things to be a certain way so that we feel good, so that we are comfortable. We want things in life, in politics, in the economy, and the interest rates, in the real estate market, in the stock market. We want things to be a certain way that serves us so that we can feel good. And yet, surprise, surprise, things, life, situations, events, circumstances don't really care about what we need to feel good. It is living itself. It's showing up after millennia of unfolding, you know? The weather patterns are going to do what they do, and us being upset about them or enjoying them aren't going to change it. That's the simple one. We talk about the weather, the people at the market that we go to. It would be nice if they're always in a great mood, serving us with a smile, but that's just not going to happen. They have their life, their situations, their events that they're going through. Same with anywhere we go, same with any situation that we involve ourselves in. It's all out there. Everybody's living their life. Life is living itself, and we get to experience it exactly the way it shows up. It's not going to show up to please us all the time. It's not going to take into consideration what pleases us, right? It's living itself. And when we really truly understand this, we realize that we cannot change anything out there. We can't change any person, including our children, including our spouse, our partners, our lovers, our friends. We can't change our bosses, our employers. We can't change anything out there. What can we change? Can't change the weather. We can't change the million decisions it took to raise the interest rates yet again. We can't affect the decision it's going to make when they start lowering it again. What can we do? We can affect who we are being, how we are being, how we are showing up, how we are allowing life, feelings, thoughts, situations, words, memories to come up within us. And we are choosing how we react or relate or respond to them. And that's this idea of surrender. As we surrender to every little thing, to someone being rude to us on the street, or as we're parking our car, or they took our parking spot, or someone in the market who's just way too snippy to be working around all these people, or we're reading the news about the stock market or the real estate market going up yet again, and we're trying to buy a home, and it's like we feel this tension, this stress, and it's like, why? It's living itself. And we can realize, I want it to be different. That's really what it is. We want what is to be different. And so as we surrender the idea that we need it to be different so that we can feel good, we aren't tense, we aren't upset, we aren't frustrated, we aren't angry. We surrender the idea that we need life to be different. Wow, that's a thought, isn't it? It's like, becoming the witness, I just observe life as it's showing up, and I allow any tenseness, any anxiety, any stress, any thoughts that are relating to anxiety, stress. It's like I can just watch that come up, arise within me, and I can let it go without needing to change anything. And I can release and then be right where I am, doing exactly what I'm doing, being with whomever I am with, and seeing good, seeing God, seeing wholeness, seeing oneness, seeing love, peace, and joy right where I am without needing to change anything. The key is realizing that we want things to be different. And when we release and surrender the idea that we need things to be different in order to feel good, we begin to realize that feeling love, peace, and joy is always available within us, regardless of circumstance, regardless of how life, people, events, the news, the weather, the traffic, um, the virus, whatever is happening. If we realize that we don't need it, whatever it is, to change in order to feel good, guess what? We get to feel good right now, right now, in surrender. It doesn't mean that we won't feel anxiety as we read that my money market account just got 10% lower because of this, that, and the other thing. It doesn't mean I won't go, the breath hold, the stomach clench, the shoulders rising. But what it means is, as the observer, I can go, oh, look at that. There's tightness, there's these sensations. My shoulders are rising up to my ears. This is a familiar feeling. I think I'll just breathe into it, watch it, feel the feelings that come up with it. Notice the thoughts. Oh my gosh, what about retirement? What about this? What about that? What about the money I was going to take out next month to pay for this, that, and the other? The hole in the roof. It's like, whoa, that's just another uncomfortable feeling. I can just watch that rise up. Wow, there it all is. It's all coming like that summer storm is just coming up, and I can witness it without needing to change it. Be with it, be present with it, and allow it to pass through me, to rise and fall, to come in like the waves of the ocean and recede. And as I allow it to do this, as it recedes, these feelings of being uncomfortable, of being unhappy, of being fearful, I realize I have peace right here, right now. It's available to me. I call upon it, this peace that I am. And wow, there it is. It's right here. So in surrender, we're acknowledging that things happen, feelings arise, thoughts can come up. And it's the noticing that I am wishing it was different. I'm wanting these thoughts not to be here. I'm wanting the loneliness not to be here. I'm wanting the fearfulness not to be here. So instead of suppressing, repressing, getting rid of, um, running away from these thoughts, feelings, and sensations, I put some space between me and the thought. I am not this thought. I am not this feeling. It is happening in me. It is something I am experiencing right now. Hmm. Examining it like a child, like looking at a butterfly, something delicate in our hands, and at some point, with some things, we can even be grateful. Thank you for showing me that every time I watch local news, or every time I participate with this group of people, or every time I find myself in this situation, whatever that might be, I am being uncomfortable. And now, instead of blaming them, those, that, I change what I am doing or being, how I am being. I don't put myself in that situation. I don't watch that particular news program. Whatever it is, I change this. The only thing that I could ever change is right here, right now, my consciousness, my awareness, my presence, who I am being. Ah, that is what I got this week. I really am working on this idea of nothing out there needs to change for me to be in love, loving, and loved. Nothing out there, no situation, no, if I miss my flight and I miss my meeting and it causes stress and anxiety for all these people, they can give me how unhappy they are, how upset they are that I missed this, or I couldn't do this, or I wasn't able to be there. And I can say, that's, hey, did everything in my power that I could do to be present for this situation. And so I don't have to take on the blame, the shame, the guilt, the anger. I can be who I choose to be: responsible, loving, kind, making another plan, being as accommodating as I can be within myself. All of those things, yes, but taking that on, owning it as who, as mine, no, I don't have to do that. You don't either. We can be present to our highest good whenever we choose. And it begins with realizing that right where we are whole, perfect, and complete. So anything we think is coming in from out there to disturb that, we watch it, witness it, allow it, observe it, be curious about it, and release it, knowing that there will be something else. There will be a traffic jam. There will be a tough conversation with a family member. And we watch the uncomfortableness come, and we choose to stay present, stay curious, stay in love, in peace, in harmony with what is showing up. And that's the blessing. Our life flows, all the little things flow, and then all the big things flow. Honestly, it's a miracle. So I encourage you again to layer on this with last week's discussion of surrender, and let me know how it's working for you. I would love to hear from you. You can reach me at elizabethcantey.com or leave a message here. And I am just so grateful for you. I appreciate you so much. I hope this week you surrender and realize the joy, the love, and the peace that is always there underneath It is our true nature, our true self is always available. And we can just surrender and surrender and surrender again to anything that is disturbing our peace, our love, and our joy. I hope this week you laugh, love, and live enlightened every single day. If you like this, hit like, hit subscribe, and share it with a friend. And let me know how it goes. Peace.
Thanks for watching. Join us every Thursday at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, for Living Enlightened with Elizabeth Cantey. Presented by New Thought Media Network. Join us, ntmedia.org.